Okay, as soon as you see that image go down, you're free to go.
Oh, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Evening.
Okay, the Village of Lincoln Heights Safety Committee meeting Monday, April the 19th, 2021 at 5:36 is officially called to order via Zoom. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Present.
Councilwoman Phyllis Faber.
Present.
We have 3 who are present. We do have a quorum.
Vice Mayor, would you do the prayer for me, please?
Father God, we come before you, thanking you for another day. We're also asking, Father God, that you watch over the Village of Lincoln Heights, keep our residents safe. Allow this meeting, Father God, to run smoothly and allow us to be able to do the business of the Village of Lincoln Heights. We ask these things in your son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I need for the acceptance of the minutes from March the 15th. Is there a motion?
So move with any needed corrections.
Is there a second?
I second.
Been moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. Any old business? No old business. We'll move right along to new business, and that is the monthly fire report from Chief Amos.
Yes, and I'll briefly go over February 2, if that's fine. It's more just numbers. I think everyone has that. But just before I do that, just on the basic thing, just some update on some things that we're doing. The community paramedicine. We met with Mrs. Key from Princeton and also Tefra for LOHI right there on Wayne
Right.
of what they're doing.
LHOI.
LOHI, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Lincoln Heights Outreach.
Yes, they're amazing over there. Actually, they have a lot of services and things that I didn't even know they were doing. She says they have a capacity of up to 200 adults that they can get in that building. So they've been feeding people in our area code, Lackland, Wyoming, Lincoln Heights, Woodlawn for the past whatever state money. She's amazing. So we're hooking up with her with the community paramedicine piece because she's been looking for people that needed the help. And we've been looking for people that we continue to make the same runs on and trying to figure out where we can get help for them. So this is like perfect. We're coming up with another meeting here soon to link up, and then we're going to get the Princeton kids involved along with the Lincoln Heights kids working for their community and Woodlawn kids working for their community, Lackland kids working for their community. That whole nine, we're going to do some CPR training with them for their volunteers, things of that nature. So this is going to be a nice collaborative. And one of my questions was that this is kind of a issue throughout the county and how fast could her company absorb all this? Because once we get this up and going, we're going to probably pass this along to the other communities. And she said she can do whatever. So if the need is there, she can actually provide it. So this is going to be pretty big for LOHI, Lincoln.
Lincoln Heights Outreach.
Lincoln Heights Outreach. There it is. That makes
There you
sense. Lincoln LHOI. So it's going to be pretty big for them too as well. So that's to come. And I think a lot of people will probably, a lot of fire departments I know will definitely use this. And I think PD as well, she was speaking of something like that where they needed the mental health, things of that nature, or she actually has the capacity to do that. So it's amazing. So we met with them. Another piece is coming, the Touch Every Door. We're doing that again. Anything on the safety committee that you would like to see on, we're doing door hangers because of the COVID, so we can't really not stop and talk, but we're going to just do door hangers of all the stuff that we provide, all the different services, Explore, CPR, the cribs, pack and play, where if the moms don't have cribs, they can get free cribs for their kids, things of that nature. So anything you want to see, Ms. Childs, that you might want on there, I'll let you see it before we put it out again.
Okay, that was gonna be my question. Plus, you're gonna have the lid on there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, we just got 500 more helmets.
Okay.
We're picking those up next month.
Yes, and the kids are gonna need it because they want to get out and go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have some, do you have adult helmets too?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Okay, all right, so it's
Definitely.
offered to the community. So yes, when you, before you print your door knocker, please let me see it.
Absolutely.
And so that it can touch every citizen in the village of Lincoln Heights. Okay, you may continue.
And one last thing, just for the citizens, we'll be starting hydrants in May. So if you see us out there doing hydrants or what have you, just let your water run for a little bit, so you, or don't, at least wash your clothes so you don't get that rust stain in your whites and things of that nature. So, but again, we'll probably put that back to Lincoln Heights and Whitlawn too as well, so they can just put a cold red out or what have you, just to run your water for a little bit so you don't get that stain. So real quick for the brief stuff, just for the numbers real quick. In our February report, I'm not sure if you've seen that or not too, there was just some brief reading, night reading on some of the equipment that we carry, how much it weighs, the type of stuff that we have to have per NFPA, things of that nature. So that's from night reading, just in case you want to see what we actually have to carry on the fire responses. And we did one on EMS, I believe, too, as well. But on page 4, for the fire responses for Lincoln Heights, under column 2, LH, 1 appliance fire. And then we have 1 CO alarm. Let's see, 2 fire alarms, 1 general response, 1 structure fire. I believe that was the one on right there on the corner of Mangum, that basement fire there for that. So those were all of our fire responses for the month of February. And if we switch over to page 5 for our EMS responses for Lincoln Heights, second column there, 2 abdominal pains, 1 assault, 2 back pains, 5 cardiac events. So the chest pains have changed to cardiac events. They're tracking that different now with the state, in case you noticed that. 2 diabetic emergencies, 1 headache, 1 injured person, 4 injured in a fall, 3 maternity runs, 1 cardiac non-breather, 2 psych emergencies, 1 seizures, 1 shooting, 6 sick persons, and 3 trouble breathing. Briefly for March, if we can flip over there real quick. And this month, we kind of changed the fire response. We kind of broke that down on just what's actually happened in Lincoln Heights. So it was just a little bit easier to read. CO alarms, 1, emergency to properties, 1, fire alarms, 2, odor of gas, 2, and a water flow alarm there in Lincoln Heights. And if we flip over to page 3 for the fire responses or the EMS responses for Lincoln Heights, column 2, 1 allergic reaction, 1 person assaulted, 5 cardiac events, which is our chest pain, 1 diabetic emergency, 1 EMS lift assist, 1 eye injury, 1 hemorrhaging, 3 injured persons, 2 injured in a fall, 1 maternity run, and I think actually the baby was delivered there. That was one of our paramedics, one of her first deliveries. 2 medical alarms, 1 non-breather, 2 psychs, 3 seizures, 12 sick persons, 8 trouble breathing, and 2 unconscious there. And I think the rest of our report here for that month was just all statistics. But again, we're working on that community paramedicine. That's probably our main objective right now, and getting out our spring stuff with the door hangers and the hydrants for now for the fire department.
Is that your report, Chief Amos?
Say it one more time, sorry.
Is that your report? You finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the first thing, we want to congratulate the person who helped to deliver that baby.
Yes.
plus staff for the person's name is what?
It was Bailey Stafford and Dan Goforth. Everybody knows Dan. He's been around for a while. He's a bigger Caucasian guy. He's been around for a long time. But Bailey, she's brand new, so that was her first. She held the baby all the way down, didn't want to give it back to the mom.
Okay, so I'd like for that to be included in my report. So send those two names to
Absolutely.
our clerk of council. A big thank you for that. I don't imagine that I could have done that. I probably would have fainted,
Me too.
trying to do that. So please go back to your page 1 of your March report and explain this, please.
Page 1. Gotcha. Oh, you are that's probably the biggest thing ever. I'm sorry, this is huge, actually. Thank you, Ms. Childs. I'm over here rushing through stuff. So we're doing the community risk reduction. This is a whole nother piece that we're doing, which goes into with community paramedicine. This link right here will send you to, we're part of a pilot program for community risk reduction. So they compile all the information for Lincoln Heights and they put it in this report. It's like a dashboard of how many people live in Lincoln Heights, how many people's moving out of Lincoln Heights, what's the medium income, where do they work, what type of work do they do. It breaks it down completely. And then it goes through all the things that might be a risk for Lincoln Heights. So it's a very, very in-depth tool. And as we add more information to it, it's going to be even better for the businesses, council, things of that nature. So if you get a chance to look at that, it's pretty in-depth.
Okay, I would like to see it brought up. Anyone have this document? You have it?
I wonder if I could pull it up and share my screen.
Pull it up and share it. I think this is important. You also have something you can scan down there so we can let folks know part of this. If you, what do you put your phone there and scan and bring it up and it goes straight to the site?
Yes, actually, that's probably the biggest.
Technology is wonderful and confusing.
Yeah, we're one of the, I think we're only one of the 4 or 5 communities that's doing this in the county, actually. Let me see if I can pull this up and share my screen.
He would probably have to get sharing capabilities.
ICRC, Mr. Pavil,
Yes, ma'am.
can you share that? Let Chief Amos Johnson share his screen so we can see this document.
He's good to go.
You're good to go. Pull it up.
See, I'm gonna try to pull it up real quick. This is the one thing I should have been prepared for, because this was actually probably the most important. Let's see if I can find this.
While he's trying to find that, I want to acknowledge some folks that are visiting with us today and may be with us from time to time or at all safety meetings. You're welcome. That's Jay Reed from the Hamilton County Sheriff Department. Thank you for attending, and anyone else who is visiting us today.
Let's see. I think I might have it. Our community, our people, population. Let's see. Yep, this is it. Okay, let's see if I can get back to share my screen. Where are we at? Okay, can everyone see that there?
Yes, I can.
Gotcha. So let's see if I can go back. If it will. So they did it for Lincoln Heights and Woodlawn here. So they broke this all the way down. So it goes down to our people, where we're actually from. Then it goes to where we work, employment, occupation. I mean, this is pretty significant here. Our homes. Let's see. On how it changes over time, the different housing units. And this is another big piece here, the social vulnerabilities.
Yes.
Where you can kind of see what will affect your community here in the future. Let's see if I can get to it. So let's see. So let's see, for instance, like language isolation. So this probably is not going to affect Lincoln Heights too much. So again, as you can see, it breaks it down from the Village of Woodlawn to Lincoln Heights and really doesn't have that issue. So if we go back to, let's say, disabilities. So it has, again, Woodlawn is going to be the blue, Lincoln Heights is going to be the red on where we compare to in Ohio, which is pretty cool to see where we need to work on. Again, this goes good with We Thrive. It's great for council to see where the deficiencies are with our particular community compared to the state of Ohio. So I'll forward this link I'll forward it to the clerk and she can shoot it out to everyone.
Okay.
And literally you just click on it and you can go through every piece of it. From the buildings in Lincoln Heights, COVID-19, it talks about that. But definitely the social vulnerabilities tab is probably the one you want to look at here.
What does it give you in COVID-19?
So
What kind of information?
It's kind of really the same stuff that we're getting now, since they're so on the COVID-19 right now that the county's giving us. So let's see. Confirmed cases for Hamilton County, lives lost. Let's see if we can break this all the way. And I think as you zoom in, it will. Here we go.
Stay in Ohio.
There we go. Okay, so Woodlawn, Lincoln Heights, and Ohio. So there's Lincoln Heights' numbers. Oh, that's going to uninsured population by group. So that's probably the insurance for the COVID in essence is what they're talking about here.
Okay.
Population without health insurance. And again, I'm not completely educated on this to speak about it, but it talks about everything in this website. I don't want to act like I'm the pro at this. So
It's okay, Chief Amos. You can teach us a little bit each month.
oh, absolutely. This
we
is
get an understanding of it.
This is perfect. I wish I would have been a little bit more prepared. I was just running back from that run, but Ms. Childs, you were perfect for bringing this up because this is probably the biggest piece that we're doing right now for this pilot program for the state of Ohio. It's not a lot of communities doing this right now, and they let us do that. So thank you for bringing that up.
I feel good about partnering with the Village of Woodlawn's Fire Department and what you're doing for both communities.
Yep, absolutely, and it's the same people. Y'all the same. We all related. We all here. But okay. I'm gonna send this link right now so everybody can have this.
Thank you very much.
Take a look at that. And I should have had this to you way earlier, Madam Chair.
Okay. We'll make sure that Manager Powell Drill gets this information if she doesn't already have it. She's brilliant, so she may have gotten it before you.
I'm sending it right.
Are there any questions? You can come out of your presentation.
Gotcha.
So we can see everyone.
Yeah. Ms. Childs Peters, I had a question.
Yes.
This seems like something that and I keep calling them new rookies, but I know they're not rookies, but this sounds like something that they could probably familiarize themselves with the sheriff, just to get to know the community in which they're going to be serving.
Okay.
And also, can you put the QR code on our website for people to link into?
Yes.
Because it looks like a lot of information. I'd love to play around with it.
Yes, a whole lot of. How do I stop share here before I might.
How does it come out of his
up at the top? It should say stop sharing in red. Gotcha. There you go.
There you go. See, we learned something different today.
Yes, learn something. Thank you.
Each one, teach one. Okay.
Teach one.
Something that we need to commend you on the great job that you're doing for the Village of Lincoln Heights. Keep up your good work in both communities. Okay.
Yes, we appreciate you guys too, definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baby, do you have any questions? Councilwoman Phyllis Baby? Okay, we'll come back to her if she needs to ask one.
No, I don't have any questions,
Okay,
Madam
Thank you.
Chair. Thank you.
okay, moving along to Mr. Lieutenant DePotley. Jeremy? Hello? You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
You're good to go. All right. Good evening, everybody. Lieutenant Jeremy DePoli with the March report for Lincoln Heights. Once again, we are very fortunate that I don't have much serious to report. Violent crime has been down. I think we all pretty much know that the trends are normally that as the weather warms up, we tend to see more activity and foolishness out on the streets. Right now, we're kind of going in the opposite direction. The big thing that happened up here in March, Jeremy Spoor, he's one of our guys with the cops grant, one of our rookies. He made a stop on a guy who had quite a bit of dope in the vehicle. This was 1374 Chamberlain. And the reason this one was kind of important, this is the guy who ended up shooting at the Laughlin cop a week later, if everybody heard about that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He made that traffic stop on the 16th of March. The guy ran into the house. I think he went in and ditched his gun inside. We can't prove that, but he left all his dope sitting on the front seat. He had a real cocktail in there: Xanax, Adderall, fentanyl, cocaine, methamphetamine, whatever you wanted, this guy had. We got him back to the station. He ended up fighting with us at the station. And of course, you know, he's out within a week and a half. I guess he's back on the street on the 6th of April. The Laughlin officer attempted to stop him, and he jumped out of the car and shot at the Laughlin officer. So he is obviously now in custody. He was located after quite a manhunt down there. That it's good having this guy off the street. We don't need him running around back up here. Other than that, you know, there was B&E up there at the burglary at the Yallow Express on the 30th of March. Again, property crime, but that was a deal where they had hit I think it was the BP up a couple miles north of here just before they did this one. So it's, in all likelihood, it sounds like somebody just a crime opportunity going up and down the interstate there. As I said, you know, a lot of the activity up here has been down. Total criminal reports were 16 compared with 20 in February. That's very unusual, and a lot of these were, you know, not necessarily personal crimes, you know, violent personal crimes. A lot of it, again, theft. One burglary reported, an identity fraud. So again, that's a good trend that we got some. Seems like things. I'm gonna. Hopefully, it continues in that direction. That, you know, the community stays peaceful. In the cases where we had arrests, only one suspect was from Lincoln Heights, and that was the guy that shot at the Laughlin copper. The other two guys that went to jail were from Roselawn and Bond Hill. Again, you know, I know me and Miss Joyce have talked about this. We got a lot of people coming up into the community who are not here for good purposes. Anybody who looks at that dispatch report, I made a notation on here that there were 13 calls for shots fired in March. They're all coming during the daytime hours, and these were all from the same guy. I've talked to him. I think the gentleman suffers from some PTSD, and it's making it difficult for him to sleep. Every one of these calls has been confirmed that they were coming from the Cincinnati Police Range up there in Evendale. And that's a little bit beyond my control. I can't go up there and make them stop training. So we'll move on down here to the dispatch report again on the third page there. 211 calls for service in Lincoln Heights during March. That was up up a bit from the 175 during the month of February. 322 non-billable details during March. Again, up from 229 during the month of February. A lot of that non-billable stuff, again, is going to be traffic stops, things of that nature. My guys getting out, putting themselves out of service and doing proactive things, talking to people out in the village. Reported concern. 2 of those were parking complaints. Both of those were addressed. 1 nuisance activity complaint at Lamar's Lounge. I've addressed the issues with. That was 25th of March. I met with the ownership down there on the 31st. I think we all know in the past there's been some trouble down at Lamar's. Seems like what they're doing down there, everything seems to be running smooth again. I'm keeping my fingers crossed on that. I think we've had very few calls down there for, again, the noise and so forth. And from talking to the 2 gentlemen that are running the joint, it sounds like they really want to be cooperative with the village and be good neighbors down there is what I'm picking up. Other items here. I want to give a shout out to Miss Hazel. She took care of us on the 9th of April. Very nice feast. And here we had a lot of downtime after that. A lot of guys were sitting around loosening their belts and taking some recovery time. The chow was very good. So thank you to her. We talked at the last meeting about the DVERT program, the Domestic Violence Enhanced Response Team. That is active up here right now. Again, providing immediate resources and social services for victims of domestic violence and abuse. We have contacted them a couple times, reached out to them. It seems to be like at this point, I think it's running all right. So if there's any questions on that or any other information, there's a link on my report here for womenhelpingwomen.org. That'll give you a little more background on that. Again, with the weather warming up, my guys have been out participating more in outdoor community events. Deputy Brandy Terry and Deputy Andrew Chapman helped out with the Easter bag drive-through at the Spirit of Christ Church on Wayne. So they had a good time over there. They were also up there for Street to Sweets, sweep the streets at Oak Park Apartments on the 7th of April. I got a couple of my guys who are making a regular routine here to get out and shoot baskets with the kids out here. That's the kind of stuff I like to see. Give a shout out to Justin Schaefer, Josh Turner, and Zach Kyle. I checked their daily reports, their daily activity reports, and I'm seeing a lot of these guys spending time over there hanging out with the kids, which I got to give a thumbs up for that. Residents need to be aware that if the basketball courts are locked down here across the street from the station, we do have a key over here. Our guys, I've got my guys, I've told them that they could open that up, but we're gonna lock it back up at nighttime. Captain Tony Aru and Miss Akshata, who were responsible for procuring the funding for the COPS grant, met with the village manager, Miss Joyce, on the 8th of April. Miss AK seems to be coming up with a lot of neat ideas for different community activities she'd like to get moving here as the weather warms up again. Different ideas are ranging from night watch and neighborhood watch groups, church events and other community cleanups, as well as bake sales and movie nights in the park. I think Miss Joyce has mentioned some of those ideas as well in the past. So hopefully we can start to get some of that stuff moving in that direction. I've got one on here. Attention, brave young men and women of Lincoln Heights. We are looking to hire corrections officers. We will have an academy going, sounds like starting in September. Michelle Moore is one of our girls downtown that's in charge of the hiring. You can go to the website. They'll tell you everything you need to know. If anybody knows anybody up here who would like to join the team, we're looking for good people. The pay's okay, starts at $19.50, and I'm going to tell you, plenty of time, plenty of opportunity to earn overtime. I think you'll have more overtime than you want, but it's a good opportunity. If anybody knows anybody, send them up here to the station. I'll be glad to talk to them. or they can talk to one of my guys or girls up here. National Drug Take Back Day, scheduled for Saturday, the 24th of April. 10 o'clock to 1400 will be here at the station. Anybody can bring up any kind of medications that they want to offload. This is not necessarily for turning in heroin or stuff like that, but if you have medications and other things around the house, obviously if somebody has some of that stuff and wants to get rid of it, we will take it. We will tag it for destruction. It's kind of a no questions asked thing. If people have some dope they want to offload, but it's really about keeping these prescription medications out of the wrong hands. Keeping kids from getting a hold of them and abusing them, or if they're old or expired, we'll take them off your hands. There will be a sheriff up here on standby. That pretty much sums up everything I've got. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, I have 3 or 4 questions. Number one, when you talked about the gentleman who called 13 times to report the gunfire going off, we don't like to see that many times, but it will help us with reporting this to Cincinnati.
Sure.
To let them know this is a serious thing. I hear just about every Wednesday, I think it's Wednesday, where they go off all day. And it's just so ridiculous. They need to move that firing range. So I'm going to put a little star right there to send this on to the mayor, because she's not on and they're working on this project. So they know that this gentleman was having issues with the gunfire or the gunpowder. The next one is the program that you have, the cadet program you have coming up. We talked about this in the past, and because we had changing of lieutenants or sergeants or whoever was in charge, and went by the wayside. I'm glad that it's up. But we want it in Lincoln Heights, and you all are going to have it at Hamilton County headquarters. Is that where the training is going to be?
This is for corrections, to be a jailer. Okay, everybody who works patrol for the county, I shouldn't say everybody, but I'd say 90% of our guys and girls that work the streets started down in the jailhouse. It's
Right.
a stepping stone, and I could tell you, the experience that I got working down the jailhouse, just amazing. I mean, you learn how to talk to people. When you work the jail, you're walking around with nothing but handcuffs and a radio. You have to learn how to talk your way out of a problem. I think we all know that, unfortunately there are times where you have to go hands-on. That's just the way it goes. You can't negotiate with some of these predators. That's just how it is.
Okay.
Again,
So the answer is that it's going to be held downtown, the training.
I believe it. Major Reed, I think, probably agrees with me. That's correct. I think once or twice they may have had a corrections academy on Hamilton Avenue.
They were doing part of the training was like the educational part, but they have on the job training down at the jail where they're actually in the area where they will be working and following an FTO. And so I believe that they opened up the classrooms again on 1M because the room is large. And so they're moving training back into the jail more than they were out at headquarters. So there might be a few classes they may take out there, but most of them will be down at the jail. And I must say, I've been down at the jail for almost 33 years, and you can learn a lot how to deal with people, how to speak with people, how to control situations before they backfire, because you're not guaranteed that somebody's going to be right behind your back to help you. So that's where we want everyone to start off, right inside the jail.
Okay, so Lieutenant DePoli, please send that information to Manager Powell so that we can place that on the website
Yes, ma'am.
and make announcements that there are opportunities if anyone wants to become an officer to do so. Great opportunities there. And I'm happy that you are reporting who's committing the crime and where they live. Because in the past, of course, our neighbors thought that it was all people from out here, and it is not. It's the people that's coming into the neighborhood. So thank you for that, and please continue to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
The next thing is that this is the fourth one, is that I asked Lieutenant to report on the cops out here, the cops program, the 10 of them, to give some accountability as to what they're doing out here on a weekly basis. We need to know. Okay. So, Vice Mayor, thought I saw your hand. Yes.
Sure. I had wrote down a few things. Shot shooter. Do we have one of those shot shooter things here in Lincoln Heights?
The shot spotter.
I don't know what it's called. Shot shooter,
Yeah,
shot spotter.
I think that's what you're referring to.
Yes.
Where it lets you know where the shots are coming from.
Yeah.
Me and Miss Joyce had talked about that at one point. If I remember right, we're talking like $30-something thousand for that.
Yeah.
And you know, my personal feeling is that money can be spent a better way.
I agree, but because I was thinking we don't need one if we got the firing range, because it'll just knock it out of whack. That's what I was thinking.
I agree completely.
And when will we have the bicycles? When will our friends be riding the bicycles?
Well, I'm glad you asked again, because I brought that up last week with the guy who's supposed to be getting the training done. And he told me that the trainers, the people who are putting the training on, have been dragging their feet. I told him, I said, if they're not going to get this together, but I told him this week we can start looking at somebody else. Simple as that. That's it's a big thing. I want to have the guys out there and the girls on the bikes. The bikes are ready, and I'm pretty sure my people know how to ride a bike, but I don't want to, they have to be certified to be able to do it. I never assume too much, but maybe they do, maybe they don't. So we're looking at alternatives here real soon. Yeah.
Anything else, Vice Mayor? You good?
I had wanted to thank, I don't know if I had thanked Katie for the pictures that she took for us with the drone. I want to thank her for that, and thank her in advance for the other help that she's going to help me with the drone that she doesn't know about yet. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I'll let her know. She just actually got a grant for $100,000 too. So she's doing a lot of big things over the United States right now. So put her to work, So before they try to steal her from me. I'll let her know though. I'll tell her to get in contact or whatever if you email her first.
Anything else from that? Anyone else have a question from Mr. Daniels? I see it. Councilman Daniels, yes.
I just wanted to say that to Sheriff DePoli, both Chief Amos and DePoli as well. Just want to make sure, I'm sorry I was on mute, for their efforts in the community. I've been seeing the work that they've been doing. I know, and I can attest to both the work they did with Sweep the Streets and seeing them playing basketball with the kids. So I know when the grant first came out, there was I had some doubts at first, but just seeing the boots on the ground and actually seeing I like to talk tangible, actual tangible time being spent in the community. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for continue the good work on that end.
Appreciate it.
And thank you, Councilman Daniels, for being right there with them. It's a good thing. Okay, Councilwoman Baber, you have anything you want to say or questions you want to ask?
No, Madam Chair, thank you.
Okay, Chief Amos, I got a call from a neighbor that said thank you for the services that was provided when they called for an emergency, and the service came and took them to the hospital up in Westchester. They did a fantastic job. And you need to know that you all are doing great things.
No
Okay.
problem. I will pass that on. Thank you so much.
Pass it on to the people.
Troops.
Okay.
Definitely.
Anyone else? I'm not going to call on Ms. Paljo because she's going to have her own piece coming up soon. Anyone else? Okay. So we can move along to Village Manager Joyce Paldria.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I myself first would like to just commend the work that Chief Amos and Lieutenant DePoli is doing in the village. I echo what Councilman Daniels is saying. And if I can echo Councilman Daniels, that means that they are actually really doing some amazing work, because he was probably the biggest skeptic of us all. So congratulations to seriously both of you. I do see the work that you're doing, and you're always accommodating, and you don't push back when I ask the questions. We do have reasonable conversation, and so thank you for making the engagement a very pleasant one for the work that I have to do in the village. The only thing that I have, Madam Chair, is around village operations in terms of our service department. I have sent a report to council regarding how we will reimagine my plan to reimagine our service department to a Department of Public Works. And so I hope you all will have the opportunity to read that in detail and have some great questions for me at the committee of the whole next week to discuss that in detail. And then my other thing, my other topic is the code enforcer. He is going into his third week of being in the village. I think he's going to be amazing and doing an amazing job. He is preparing to a plan to deliver the work for code enforcement in the village. He will have a report to deliver to you about how he plans to inform the process. He'll give you a detailed presentation on how he will conduct his process, how he will inform the community, and how he will implement the code enforcement in the village. And I'm looking for positive results out of that engagement as well. There has been some move. I'm moving on to the gun range because it was mentioned. I did get a brief email that says there is some traction moving there, and I'm sure all of you have heard that. I don't have much details around what that is, but it's good to hear that there is some movement there. And I think that we should be hearing something more concrete in the very near future. And I'll let the mayor speak to that when she gets an opportunity to do that. And that's all I have, Madam Chair, unless someone has a question for me. That's all I have.
I don't have a question, but I want to add to the gun range piece. I know that when I attend the commissioners, the meetings on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the gun range has been brought up, and that they have their staff looking into why it's not moving faster at this point. So, and I also know that Jan Michelle Kearney is looking into it too. So we do have people that are trying to make this thing happen. It's just when, you know, we've been asking, when is this going to happen for maybe 10, 15, 20 years. Not sure how long, can't remember how long, but it has been an issue. So we have a gentleman calling in X amount of time because he's not sure where the gunfire is coming from. That is a problem. If our kids are hearing that, it is a problem. When I hear it, it is a problem. How do I respond or react to it? I live on Adams. Those people that live near the gun range are certainly having problems with it. So that is all that I have to say about that. Anyone else have a statement or questions you want to ask a fantastic village manager? Yes, Miss Reed. Miss Reed, before you start, what is your title?
I'm a major of
Major.
community affairs.
You go, girl, girl, woman, you know. Major, I must call you Major. That is
Yes,
the title. So Major Reed.
yes. I'm chiming in because I know that Sheriff McGuffey is also getting meetings going about that gun range out there. They're having meetings on it. So I just wanted to let you know she's chiming in on that also. They're talking about plans of moving it. So I think that's the main thing that they're doing right now. We have to wait and see. They're working on things right now, but I know that she is highly interested in getting that gun range moved from that area also. So that's all I had to say.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, women power. What can I say? All right, nothing against the guys now. We okay. But I did talk about 3 commissioners, and Jay Reed said something about our new sheriff in town, and Jan Michelle Kearney, who sits on council in Cincinnati, and of course all of us who are on board with this. Okay, so thank you. Councilwoman Baber, do you have anything for Ms. Powdrill? Anyone else? Hands up? Okay, we're moving along.
Sorry, I walked away. But I'm still listening. I still hear you. Okay. No, I don't have anything. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any miscellaneous? Any miscellaneous business? Okay, yeah, good. We have a lot on our plate. Okay, it's open to the public. We have anyone from the public like to speak? Ms. Randolph, is there anyone on? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, any announcements? Or would you like to save those announcements for the Finance Committee meeting? Okay, being no announcements, adjournment, please, and thank you for all of you for coming. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved for adjournment.
I second it.
It's been moved and second to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, please say aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Opposed? Aye, aye.
Aye, aye.
The meeting is officially adjourned. And Major Reed, you're welcome.